This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. Look at me with this fun hair on today. Yes, I'm always trying to change. And it's all right. It's all right, you guys. I'm trying to hold this camera down a little lower out of the sun. I'm here with my afternoon thoughts and it's kind of hot in here. I got windows down and all that stuff, but it's hot. So I'm just trying to make sure that we don't get melted away before the end of the video. So how is everyone doing? I have had an exciting, busy week so far, and we're only on Tuesday. It's been so much going on with work and just life in general. It's always some kind of something to tackle, some situation, some issue, something to ponder on, all of this. But I wanted to reflect upon change, and that can go into any aspect of your life, with change being a good thing for some and sometimes it's a bad thing. But I think, me personally, I think it's a good thing. I think when we are receptive to receiving change um, in our lives, even changing up your hair or your look, your wardrobe, your physical appearance, anything, your sometimes you have to change up your relationships because it's time for something different, or your focus. Sometimes you got to change up how you deal with people and allow people to deal with you. Your mindset. A lot of times we're in situations where we are complacent with how we want and how we do things. We're just the same level, same degree, same balance, and that's it. But sometimes you have to tweak and change um, what you're giving out, your energy, what you're allowing to encircle around you. Because, you know, what worked for you 6 months or 6 years ago may not work for you today. You may have to really change up your whole outlook upon a lot of things in order to be successful in a lot of ways. And sometimes, some of us, we will get really stuck on our ways and how we want to do things and how things should, you know, we're not compromising in any way, state, or form. It's just, this is what it is and nothing else. And sometimes you sell yourself short doing that, because change is good. Sometimes you have to be able to identify why. Okay, identify, why in the world do I need to change this? Perhaps it's your attitude, perhaps it's your behavior, perhaps it's your whole aura, your whole makeup. But have you ever just sat back and reflect upon you? It's so easy, and we're so quick to point the finger at another, to point the finger at what someone else is not doing and need to do. Okay, they need to do this. They need to change that. They need to stop this. They need to stop that. And at the whole time, not even looking at yourself. And a lot of times, this happens in relationships when you want a finger point. You want a finger point to what the other person is not doing or could do or perhaps don't want to do. And you just dismissing your whole everything that needs a whole revamp. You need a whole, when you got a whole redo, a whole makeover, you need a whole makeover yourself. But you want to what the other person needs all the time, or they're wrong. Not me, they're wrong. I'm right. I'm always right. They wrong. Come on now. Be grown. Be grown. And being grown is one of the elements is being accountable. We have got to be accountable. I was just looking at a video regarding certain things that we have to just remember that's important to us. Just remember to focus and prioritize the importance of certain things and people in our lives, because a lot of times we can get so caught up into what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why, and how come, and what for, and be so driven. And that's good to have that drive. But we lose focus of other things that's most important to us, other people, other things we should be doing. You know, um, you may have a loved one that needs your attention. Some have small children that they neglect spending time with the way they should, or they have a significant other that they give no quality time to. They don't have time, they say. Everything is about work, 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 business, 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 and no time for the coming together and blending as a couple. And I'm going to tell you guys, that is so very important. I don't care what nobody say. Money is great. Money is important, and we have to have that to survive and live. But you also need to have that connection with who you with, that quality time. You need to be able to say, you know, we have taken this time to woosah as a couple. We have gotten away. We have done something to make each other feel whole again in this unit, this thing that we have created and come together and built. You can't just assume that because you love them and they know you love them and you're a workaholic per se, that they're supposed to just be okay with that. They're doing a lot of things without you. Mm-hmm. Lots of things without you. Y'all gotta excuse the stupid look, but this is you know, um, they're going to concerts alone. They're going to dinner alone. They're going to movies alone. They're going to all these things without you. Or, better yet, they are giving up the opportunity and the ability to even go. Some will just say, well, I ain't going. I don't have nobody to go with. Man, forget it. I'm just not going to go. Bump that. Why belittle or give up your quality of life because someone else is not wanting to be a part of doing some things with you? Now, that's when it comes to a point where you have got to weigh what it is exactly you're doing in this mess. Because it may be that you need a change. Because even though you can't possibly be up under each other all the time, because everybody's busy. Everybody got things to do. Everybody got their own little thing, and that's good. That's a good thing to know that a person has a life outside of you and doing things outside of you. That's wonderful. But you have got to also balance. You have got to come together as a couple and do things together. And it shouldn't just be one mate that's always planning. you know like one lady was telling me, well, we wouldn't do anything if I don't get on the line and start setting up something and planning something for us to do. Guess what? We ain't doing it. And then I gotta first off put them on hold, because I gotta confirm with the person that I'm with that they can get that time, and then they put me on hold regarding if they can get that time or dates to be able to be off or stop work or whatever they doing to go. And then by the time they come back with me with an answer, I was trying to book is all filled up or it ain't no more or whatever, whatever. Um, or I go ahead on and book it, and then they say, well, why didn't you check with me first? And okay, I'll see what I can do. And then they can't do, and then you're stuck with either losing out on your money or trying to find a girlfriend or um, one of your partners or something like that to go with you, or some fine Tyrone or Jessica. I'm just using these names to go with them. You know what I'm saying? You don't leave them no choice. So it's like, come on, come on. Plan together. If you have a mate that's more of a planner and you want them to do that, make yourself available to be able to do that. All work and no play is not good for you. Just like a house is not a home when it's just one person there. A family is what makes a house a home. So, you know, I say that to say there's so many couples out here now that um, are looking for the quality time from their mate, and they're hungering for it. They are desiring it. They are missing it. And you see them doing a lot of things without them. And, I understand that sometimes certain situations may occur where we can't do certain things anymore. I mean, sometimes you become ill or you can't walk or you can't get out of the bed or whatever. Now, with the exception of not being able to get out of the bed, if you can't walk, there's still wheelchairs. And you see it all the time. You see, you go to concerts or something like that, and they have a accessible section for those who are needing to that have wheelchairs or what have you. I mean, life don't stop because we have situations, right? Life don't stop. You still want to enjoy yourself. And but if you can't get out of the bed, that's something different. And prayers to those who can't, and that's why you have to do as much as you can as far as the quality of life, not knowing if you may be struck down with not being able to get around and do things in your lifetime. So you want to do what you can. You want to share and build memories and connections with your mate that will be lifelong, long lasting. Have you ever been with someone and you did some fabulous things together, and even though you're no longer together, those memories are just still there? They're just still there. They'll always be there. Because why? You created a magical moment that's placed deep within your heart that no one can take away from you and that you will never forget. So that's the kind of seeds that you want to plant that will be long lasting, even if, for whatever reason, the relationship ends up ending. And, I just say again, change is great, you guys. Being able to just change in the moment or in the day or in the season or for a reason, your mindset change, your physical um, you know, abilities to make yourself more healthier, to change your hair. You may want to shave it off. You may want to cut it low. You may want to let it grow. You may want to have a fiery color. And what's so great nowadays, especially for us women, I mean, men, you guys are not into it or whatever, but women, there's so much out here that you can do to your hair now, to change your look, even if it's just for a week. You can change your look from one degree of hair down your back to another degree of hair to your neck, from a fiery color to a dark color to a medium color to a curly texture to a straight texture to a kinky texture to even braids, cornrows. They got all kinds of looks that you can change up, and you don't even have to have no hair to do it. You can just, one day you can be Taisha, the next day you can be Moesha. That's the great thing about us women. And now men are getting into, you know adding on tracks and doing some things to their hair. stuff to do something different, coloring their hair and texturizing their hair and doing all that fun stuff. Hair can change a person's attitude. It can change your persona. That's just one aspect of change. Another major aspect is just changing your mindset. Have you ever dealt with those who, every time you talk to them or deal with them, they're always on a negative plane? Always got something negative. By the time you get through talking to them, you're like, oh, Lord Jesus, here we go. If they not complaining about somebody, they talking about somebody in a way that is demeaning, degrading, or they're telling you about the negative things that's happening in their lives all the time. It's like, do you ever have anything good happening? Okay, care to share? You know? Um, and then they drain you so heavily and so deeply with the negativity that you forget about your great things you wanted to share. By the time you get off the phone or in their person, you're like, oh Lord, I didn't forgot I was having a good day after I get through with them. But have you ever dealt with that? And that in itself is draining. If you know of anybody that goes there and try to take you there, if you can't tell them that they're always negative and draining, you probably back away from having conversations with them because it just is draining. And if you're one that's struggling with that, sometimes try to pick and dig into deep in where you can focus on what good or great that's been going on for you. What has happened in the last, you know, few hours, few days, few weeks, few months, last year? What has happened this year? In a positive way, what has happened in your life that you would care to start focusing in on and sharing? Nobody's saying that we can run from negative things that's happening, but there has got to be some positive good things that's going on that you can focus on with more energy than the negative. That should just be a little piece of your pod. And when you deal with people, especially people that's on a positive vibe, don't drain them with all that negativity. Because then you're going to be sitting up asking yourself, why don't nobody come visit me? Why they don't answer the phone when I call? Why they don't want to hear my sad story? Because there's always a sad story. Birds of a feather flock together. If your story is always sad and draining, you're going sooner or later you're going to start feeling sad and draining because you're listening to that garbage all the time. I just felt led to bring that forth because I do know of a couple of people, and it just seems like it's always a challenge in the conversation with them about everything that's not going right, and the finger is always pointed to everybody else. Well, they didn't, they didn't. And that's the whole conversation. And you don't hear the positive. And then when they do say, when you say, well, how you doing? Oh, I'm great. I'm fine. I'm great. You still hear the sarcasm in their voice, knowing that they're lying. Something going on. You can hear it in the voice. So, you know, it shies you away. And if we put more positive energy into positive things that's going on in our lives, our blessings, our things that we can be thankful for, that we have the opportunity to get up and do again for, to, and you. Those things we need to gravitate towards a more positive type of vibe towards. And then it's your associations. You have got to pick your associations wisely, grown folks. Why encircle yourself around people who are negative, who are not thriving, who are not trying to thrive, who are not motivated, always need that, but man, it's good to feel that sometimes. Why encircle yourself around people that's not doing that? You give it, you're doing it, and you want to vibe around that kind. So change is good. You have to look within yourself sometime and say, what is it that I'm noticing that I have a pattern with people that I connect with, and the vibe is just the same and not cool, and I'm losing friendships and relationships, and I don't know what's going on. Look at yourself. Start looking within. What changes do you need to make with you? Start with you. If we stop pointing a finger and blaming other people for our shortcomings or our situations, we probably would find out more about ourselves, especially if there is a cold-blooded pattern. You see what I'm saying? I I know that that's hard for some. I know that it's hard to, you know, not sometimes reflect upon what's really going on. Maybe it is a season of a whole lot of negative, messy stuff, and man, that means that it's getting ready to be a breakthrough or something great, because you're going through the fire and the test and the testimony for a reason. You're going through it for a reason. It's to make you or break you. And if you still standing and you're still going through it and getting through it, then there's lessons and there's new situations before you that's even going to be a greater blessing than you can even imagine. So keep standing. Keep standing. But change is good. Sit down and write, make a list of things that you are doing, want to do, and are in association with that's positive, and things that you're not doing, that you don't want to do, and that you are in association with that's negative. Make two lists and go down them lists, and you'll see where you need to really make some changes. Because if your negative list is outweighing your positive list, hello, mm-hmm, it's time to do something. Okay? If your positive list is outweighing your negative list, then that means you're on a good right track. But you gotta get rid of that negativity. You gotta get rid of that darkness and all them situations that's draining, because people can literally drain and suck the life out of you. I remember this one person used to call me, and I would see the phone ring and look at the number, and instantly my stomach would get a little cramp. And then I would be like, well, maybe I should answer the phone because it may be important. So then I answered the phone, and the minute we got to talking, I started getting cramped up in my stomach where I had to go to the bathroom. I know that's TMI, but I'm just going to tell y'all. I had to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I'm sitting on there in the bathroom, and I'm wiggling and moving and churning and all that, talking to this person, and they just telling me about some stuff that they just always telling me about some stuff. And I'm like, man, uh, check this out. Such. Can I call? Can I holler back? Can I holler back? I'm gonna call you back. You all right? You all right? Yeah, I'm good. I just need to call you back. I gotta do something. And then you instantly get off the phone, you do your business, and your stomach ain't hurt no more. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That part. That part. So when you physiologically start being affected by the stress and the negativity that's consistently, see, it's one thing when you have somebody call you and they're just going through something. I've done that. You may be going through something in the moment, you need somebody to talk to. Hey, usually they know I'm pretty cool, but man, I just gotta vent. I gotta tell you all this stuff. And you vent to them, whatever. They know that's not your norm. So they lend an ear. They may give you some solid friendship advice, and you down with the negativity. You got to change some things, you guys. You got to change some things. Then you got to look in the mirror at yourself and say, self, why am I allowing this to happen? Why do I pick up that phone? Why do I open that door? Why am I allowing them in my space? Why are they even in my house? You know what I'm saying? You start second guessing and questioning why. If someone is not bringing positive vibe and energy and things like that into your circle, into your life, they don't need to be in your life. If you are constantly creating this thing where you're connecting with the wrong kind of vibe and you always got all this negative stuff to pick and dissect in everybody, and you ain't even looking at yourself, you need to look in the mirror. Look in there. Smile. Check it out. See what's going on with you. Because we ain't none of us exempt. Everybody has had to look in the mirror at one time or another in their lives to see what was going on with them. Because sometimes it ain't pretty. And it may be for a season, but it's us getting whipped upside the head for that season. And there is a reason. And we get through it and we become polished and new. But sometimes God got to take us through certain things for us to get the lesson, for us to have the testimony, for us to be able to have the faith to rise up out of that. He got to take you through some things sometimes. He has to. But that too shall pass. So that was my message for today. This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady Day. And I am sprinkling you with some afternoon thoughts and grown folk topics of discussion. Today is a beautiful, it's going to be even more beautiful once I get to the end of it. I still got to finish up the rest of my day here. And I want to tell you guys, have a great day. Be safe, be grown, or be gone. And don't allow anyone to steal your joy. The message for the day. All right. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.